Race the 72.71. 72.71 is actually slower than Nick Bowman did in the wet. Now on the start line, number 70, James Pickford in the Ferrari 458 Italia. Over 500 brake horsepower, and James posted a 74.1 yesterday in the wet. A bit of bogged down on the start line, possibly a little bit too much of the traction control. So we're looking for the times now for Duncan Tappy, 65.03. That's in the BAC Mono. On the start line now we have James Booth in the Mercedes SLS. This is the drop head version. And Steve Brockley said yesterday this is probably one of the greatest cars he's ever drove. He drove it for 10,000 miles, and he said it was the greatest 10,000 miles he's ever experienced behind the wheel. Now on the start line, Tim Marshall in the Lexus LFA. This is the V10 engine, and as he accelerates away, I'll go very quiet because the engine speaks for itself. It's just absolutely glorious. Meanwhile, the Ferrari is heading over the little humpback bridge and through the finish. Just waiting for the green light. Here it goes. Now to the line is the Noble. This is the M600. Has a Yamaha V8 in the back, driven by Peter Boutwood, one of the managers at Noble. Looking for the times now. Richard Bott, 70.18.
I have a feeling that Noble's not going to get quite a line.
Mercedes over the finishing line, Noble. And not so much a basic car, but a back to basics car from Noble. Now on the start line, this is what every Cheshire farmer should have as their go and collect the sheep sort of car. It's a Ute, a Vauxhall Maloo, badges of Vauxhall in the UK, obviously a Holden. And I believe these are raced extensively in Australia. They're their own race series. And Simon Hucknall, who we saw earlier driving the Velox, is at the wheel of this, and he posted an 85.77 yesterday. Got a time through for James Pickford, 68.29, the Ferrari. On the start line we have the Ariel Atom 500. Car with the V8 engine, slotted sideways in behind the driver, and being driven by Matthew Pryor from Autocar, posted a 79.57 yesterday. And I suspect Matthew got very, very wet driving that exoskeleton chassis Ariel Atom. Now to the start line, Jan Mardenborough, driving the Nissan Motors GB Nissan GTR. 70.99 yesterday to be second fastest in the supercar class. Jan won the GT Academy Championship last year from 90,000 other competitors who entered. And Jan, very talented driver. Won the right to go into the final on the PlayStation game, and the final was actually driving genuine cars round Silverstone, which he won, and he's been racing on the continent. Now on the start line we have Mike Smith. This is the Radical SR3 SL with a 2-litre EcoBoost engine, and Mike did a 75.78 yesterday. Radical, of course, series of circuit race cars. This is road legal. Now here we have the Corvette Grand Sport from Chevrolet UK, driven by Stephen Hall. Steve Cropley from Autocar said this is probably the best value for money supercar you can buy. Tremendous amount of torque from the V8 engine, and this posted an 85.72 yesterday. Well, that's cleaned the track up nicely. Now we have the Lamborghini. This is Nicky Faulkner, and this is a Murcielago Leggera, and Nicky's time yesterday 73.39. Nicky set the fastest time of the day last year, so he's got his work cut out to get those times down and challenge the Husabergs and the Caterham.
Wishes it was
Nicky, a tremendously professional race driver. Now, this is a rarity, the Aston Martin 177. This is the very last one available. They only built 77 of these cars. So if you've got the odd 1.2 million lying around in your bank account that you don't know what to do with, pop along and see Aston Martin. They'll be glad to sell it to you. And that's certainly a better start than he managed yesterday. Going very well indeed as he heads over the Bailey Bridge.
Fast and Furious.
Now we have number 90. Now, we saw this take one run on Friday. This is, I think this is a pretty soon it's a Toyota drift car. We did have some notes on that. Here we go. This is the car that appeared in the film Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and it's being driven by Andrew Morris, who we also saw in that Lotus 104. It's got 450 brake horse, twin turbo, runs on nitrous oxide.
I thought it'd be
Hello, Steve.